Welcome back. Mishandling users' data, abetting Russian influence on American elections, spreading white supremacy in the U.S., ethnic violence in Myanmar. Facebook has contributed to all of these recent terrible turns of human events.
Why do Mark Zuckerberg and other Facebook executives continue to avoid punishment and allow the disinformation that's hurting what many say is many people around the world? Cecilia Kang is the co-author of The Ugly Truth Inside Facebook's Battle for Domination, which reveals more material that shows Facebook acting in bad faith and only for its bottom line. Cecilia, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So is it proven that all of this has been laid at Facebook's doorstep?
Well, what we show in the book is that there is a very disturbing pattern of behavior and decision-making from the very top, including CEO Mark Zuckerberg and COO, Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg, where repeatedly we see problems emerge, mistakes made, apologies, promises to do better, and that pattern repeat itself over and over. And very importantly, what we show is that these executives have been warned that they need to do better. They need to hire more people to moderate content, find out that to weed out the worst content that's on the site, and over they ignore, delay, and they oftentimes do not even listen to those warnings. And we saw that even recently with the January 6th riots on Capitol Hill and content fomenting where people were organizing for the riot for those riots on Facebook, and the top leadership not acting fast enough and ignoring warnings.
So one side of this is free speech. The other side of this is this heading towards more regulation? That we need to look at these things as if maybe they're a utility or something of that nature. Where does this need to go?
Well, I think curbing speech is going to be really tough from the government's point of view. We are a nation where our core values lie in the idea that free expression is something that's so core to who we are as Americans and in our law. I do think it's really important to understand that there are solutions, and what we show in the book is that it's not just any speech that should be clamped down on or monitored. What Facebook has is a company, a technology that amplifies, that spreads most rapidly, sometimes the worst and most harmful speech. The technology is what we show in the story is oftentimes the biggest problem. It's the algorithms that make the most controversial, the most salacious speech, and oftentimes misinformation go to the top of your news feed and push you into groups where like-minded people are. And that's why we see misinformation and hateful speech foment on the site.
I see. So a lot of people might say, hey, they're just running, a platform where people can post whatever they want. But you're saying,
Yes.
There's people that are maliciously doing that algorithm to push certain speech to the top? You think it's malicious?
Well, I would say that these are features. These are not bugs. This is by design. This company is not a Frankenstein monster that that got out of control from its owners. The company has made decisions to amplify oftentimes the worst speech. And I think that's really important to understand. This is not just an open town square. This is a town square where freedom of speech is different. We have a very smart person in our book who says freedom of speech does not mean freedom of reach, meaning the amplification of this by the technology is something that's very different and historically we've never seen before in a company like Facebook.
Yeah, and it seems like their business model is not information, but it's attention, and how long can they keep our attention? And you wonder if that's in the country's best interest. Is the Federal Trade Commission looking at these companies and saying, listen, you guys have gotten too big for what you've become, and we need to break you guys up?
I'm so glad that you talked about the business model. That's absolutely at the heart of our book and what we think people need to understand, why the company functions the way it is and why it's so successful. Right now, the Federal Trade Commission is rewriting a lawsuit to break up Facebook. A court recently basically threw a previous lawsuit by the FTC back to the agency and said, you need to basically do a better job of writing this lawsuit. So there's a big battle ahead in Washington when it comes to Facebook, as well as other big tech companies, and a real desire by Republicans and Democrats to rein in the power of Facebook and Google and Amazon and Apple and all these big tech companies. But Facebook right now is very much at the forefront because you're seeing so much misinformation and hateful speech and harmful speech really become a big societal problem.
All right, Cecilia Kang, thanks so much for being with us. The book is An Ugly Truth, Inside Facebook's Battle for Domination. For more, you can follow Cecilia on Twitter. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.